everyone. Welcome back to
Fica for Nós.
Wow, we were like, can I really go that high? I sound like a girl. Yes. My name is Edward Thomas, and my co-host is
Lynn.
Yay! Hey, Lynn. Welcome back.
Hi.
How do you feel?
Still good.
Really? And you look good, too.
Thank you.
I was just kidding.
Whoa. That's suitable for our today's topic. It must be one of your favorites.
Yes, it is. Humor.
Humor. What's that?
I don't know. Let me say something funny. No kidding.
Woo. I think what we can talk about today is like different kinds of humors and maybe where are the boundaries? Are there boundaries?
Nah.
So, yeah. I don't know because I think our podcast is really fun, I guess.
It's fun because you're here.
Thank you.
Just
I
kidding.
know that.
See, that's why I have to just kidding. There's a little just kidding in there because your head just swells. One compliment is just like blah.
Because I was the other day listening to another podcast, a German one, where they're comedians that talk to each other.
Oh, wow.
And they tell about their like life stories and how they came to stand-up comedy. And I was like walking there and wondering, could I do like stand-up comedy? And I was thinking like, but I don't think so because I'm only funny in the presence of other people, like in my reactions. I'm not funny by myself.
I don't know. I've known you for several years. I think you're really funny.
But I'm only funny because you say something and I respond and that becomes funny, not like because I just say something out of context.
I don't know. We should try.
Maybe
we should try that one day. We should like go stand on the corner somewhere and see if we can make people laugh.
No, we should go to a pub because that's where stand-up comedy lives.
Like open pub crawl night. I don't know what
at the Nations.
I'm so old that I don't go out, so I don't know what it's called. It's like
I don't know if we are so funny though. Should ask our listeners, people, if you think we are funny and we should do
give us a thumbs up.
Stand-up comedy thing, write to us, please, because I want to know. Like, should we not?
I listened to this. I listened to a Swedish comedian a couple of days ago. He was really funny. Oh my gosh, I was just dying. I forgot his name, but
well, that wasn't important.
That's not important as long as he's funny. No, but I think humor. I think so. Like humor, like music is a part of being human, and death is a part of being human.
Yeah,
and humor is a part of being human. So I think that like for people there are people in this world who have no sense of humor.
That's so sad.
And you don't want to hang out with them because they are downers. They will just pull you down into the pit of despair.
Ooh.
I wish there was some way you can inform them. Like if there was something on my app, I was like, look at this.
Like the Corona app.
Is there a Corona app?
Yeah, at least in Germany, there's a Corona app that tells you are in your close proximity to a hotspot of Corona. Or whatever.
Oh my big brother! Wow.
You could have a humor app like, oh, that person was really funny, and now this one is like Spaßbremse. In Germany, you say Spaßbremse.
What does that mean?
Fun break. Like it's a break from the fun. Someone is like
a break from the fun.
Yeah,
fun. I mean,
someone is like drawing up the break.
Yeah, and how do you say it again?
Spaßbremse.
Spaßbremse.
Spaß.
Here we go again. Spaß.
Bremse.
Bremse.
You sound like a Southern German. Gosh.
That's because if I was in Germany, I'd be in the South.
Yeah, because it's Catholic there.
Oh, yeah, exactly. That's where I should be. I want to be Pope.
So do you think that you have always been funny?
Oh, it's really hard
you?
to say. No, I think that when I came out, I looked at the doctor and I was like, "Oh, you ugly!" And I was like, "What? The baby can talk? Stop it!" No. I think like when I was little, I was like really, like I was like friendly, but like I would talk to anyone, dogs, cats, people. I didn't care what it was. I talked to snails. I'm like, "Oh, the snail's talking to me." That's like really weird. And then when I was like, must have been like junior high school, when I started getting to, well, everyone else got into puberty. I was behind. And so because I was so tiny and I sounded like a girl, for all the girls out there, yes, you sound like girls if you're in that age. And I was like 13 or whatever and still saying first soprano. And so people would pick on me, and I was like, well, I can't beat anybody up.
No.
Because even the girls are taller than me. You know, I was like, it's like, underdeveloped or something. And so I had to figure a way, how do I get out of fights? Because I didn't believe in fighting.
Mm-hmm.
And it turned out that if I was funny enough,
people would leave you alone.
yeah, and it's that weird kind of humor. So back where I come from in the ghetto, we would do this thing called the dozens. And what it is, you would talk so bad about, like, everyone's laughing, but you're really insulting the person. And someone would say, like, man, I'm going to kick your butt, Ed. And I'm like, really? That's really strange, because your mom can't even reach her butt because she's so fat. And then it was like,
oh no, you didn't.
Yeah. And he's like, oh, don't talk about my mama. I'm like, why not? Everybody else does.
Mama jokes.
Yeah. So
still living.
And so you would just like insult the person so much that they felt stupid about hitting you. So,
and everyone else would be laughing.
Yes. And so a lot of times I'm like, so what? You're going to pick on the weakest guy at school because that's going to make you really tough. And the girl's going to really like you. Oh, you pick on weaklings. I love you. And this guy's like, whatever, just leave me alone. And they would just walk. Sometimes. They didn't always work, but a lot of times I could get out of trouble by just making people laugh and just being so weird and goofy. And that just became a lifestyle.
A habit. A third arm.
It's my drug. Every day I go and take a shot of humor. But a lot of times too, like if you're gonna try to be funny, you have to be really good at apologizing because you don't always know where the line is. Mm-hmm. You know, like, and
especially with people you might not know that well.
Yeah.
I think what can easily happen is that you're in a new situation with new people, and maybe you want to make a joke for an icebreaker, and maybe that backfires real bad.
Exactly. You don't want to make jokes in another culture because if you don't understand that culture, like now I can joke in Swedish, but
when you just arrived, fresh on the boat,
I would say things like, I came from the States, and I would say things like, "Watch it, otherwise I'm going to shoot you." And people are like, "What? You just got police on Melody." They're going to call the police and turn you. I'm like, "What? What are you talking about, dude? It was a joke. Calm down." It's like, you can't say that in Sweden. You can't say that you're going to shoot someone. That's really serious. I'm like, it's only serious if I take my gun out. You got a gun! I'm like, oh my gosh, you people get on my nerves. I'm just gonna hit you.
So it's culturally not appropriate.
Yeah, and I would just do. I mean, and even now, like, because I work as a priest, and I still think humor is really funny. So a lot of times people don't appreciate that. But
at funerals, maybe not.
Because that you on here in the casket, he had really bad breath. You all know that. Don't lie about it. It still stinks. Like
wow. Even the coroner couldn't get him.
He couldn't get close. He had to wear a gas mask. That's not even. I'm sorry. I'm not laughing.
Talking about inappropriate jokes.
Yes. So I haven't buried anyone named Yuan. So I'm making this up. Sorry, Yuan. And so it's but I mean but one day I had a funeral and they're like, but here's some things about our mom. Mm-hmm. They're like, can't you just tell the truth about her? I'm like, well, I mean, people don't really know, but we're going to be really sad. We want to be sad and laugh. I'm like, okay, well, I'll try to find a balance. So it's the only time people ask me to be funny at a funeral.
Did they laugh, though?
They laughed. They were, like, in tears. I was just like, okay. And it was both. I mean, they were both crying and they were laughing.
But that's a good kind of sorrow.
It was like appreciating the person's life.
A bittersweet one.
I know. It's like the thankfulness for sharing life, and then at the same time acknowledging that feeling of loss and stuff like to do both. Yeah. So to handle both and to allow the grief to take room. But often in weddings,
Do you make jokes then?
Yes, I'm like, why are you marrying that ugly man? No, no, I wouldn't say that. I think it. No, no, but sometimes, because I tend to talk about really serious things, I try to use humor to talk about it. So I'm just like, you just bound yourself up to like over 1,000 breakfasts, lunch, and dinners with the same person, and people are just like, oh. Like,
is that a good thing or a bad thing?
Yeah, like it's a serious thing, but it's like you're saying it in a kind of way that is kind of like, oh God, or so sometimes, but you have to be really sensitive and really sort of feel when it didn't land right, because it doesn't always land, and you have to be.
But do you feel that the advantage you and me have is that we are quick-witted. So we think fast, so we can come up with a fast comeback.
But that's the problem.
That's dangerous.
Because sometimes the mouth is faster than the brain.
Yes. And then you're like, ooh.
And you can't take it back. So sometimes you say some things and...
dumb things.
Yeah, just like... I don't know if I should say this because the people in Sweden will get mad. But when I was pre-med, I would just... I don't know. I just do stuff. It just... Once my chemistry teacher, he's like, I can trust you guys are like the better students. I can trust you guys. Just, make sure that you're under the ventilation hood when you have the ether. And somehow, this friend of mine, I don't know, it's one of those stupid things. He squirted ether on me.
No.
And I squirted ether back.
Oh.
We had an ether fight in the lab with an open flame.
You guys live dangerous.
And so professor came in, he's like, what's going on? He's like, open the windows. He's like panicking.
Yeah, he can smell it.
And I think we're all kind of like a little ether high too. So we're all like laughing. We're like, ah! It's like.
And you said you never tried drugs.
I didn't try the drugs. It was ether. That's not a drug. It's a chemical. No, but it's yeah. So I think like you're saying, I think so. So if you're going to be funny, you have to have a quick wit. You have to be really good at observing people. Like you have to really know people, because what you're doing is that you're taking things that we all notice and you're sort of over exaggerating it, but not so much that you're not trying to be mean. You're not trying to make the person feel bad. You're just, lifting up. I don't even know how to explain it. You're not making people feel bad, because as long as the other person laughs with you.
Yeah, the point is not making people feel bad.
Yeah.
And in this podcast I was listening to, because the intro was about like, hey, this comedian his name is Simon. Like, Simon, why are you always so mean? Because he was known as a comedian who is mean, the mean one.
Okay.
So he always starts his jokes with insulting people in the audience. Like,
wow.
So.
How nice.
Yeah, but the thing is, he said that it's really like a balance you have to get, because you can't say these kind of things and then people would be crying or leaving or like feeling hurt or something like that.
Yeah.
Like the point is making everyone laugh, including the person you are making fun of.
Right.
And then they were taking up things that, well, after shows, there would be people coming and maybe would complain about certain jokes. Maybe if you made a mom joke, or you made a joke about someone who's disabled, and things like that. So, yeah, I don't know. How would you say, how is the border there? Like, for example, jokes about disabled people, jokes about Jews, jokes about immigrants, jokes about...
That's the board. That's it. That's where the line goes, all that stuff. No. I mean, I think sometimes, my oldest son has Down syndrome. And sometimes he has these, habits of doing stuff. And so he'll say something like, Mom is always beautiful. And so sometimes I'm looking at my wife, and she, just got the shower and just, Mama's always beautiful, huh? She's like, stop doing that. It's just like, I don't know, it's just, that's what he would say, but you're an old lady now, but I thought you might feel good if I said it like that. She's like, I can't believe that you work as a priest. And so sometimes, some things, within our family would be funny, but it wouldn't be funny to anyone that's outside of the family.
No.
Or there's things that happen, I think, so there was one year, when I was preaching, and we were talking about the life of Jesus, and we were talking about circumcision. So we took Ratchetar, and he was going to be the baby Jesus.
Oh my gosh.
And I made him sit on somebody else's lap.
Did you? Did he?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
And I'm like, you got to hold him there, because I got to do the circumcision.
Oh my gosh.
And everyone, people were dying, people were crying, because it was kind of funny.
Because adult man.
Here's this adult man trying to pretend he's a baby. And here's this guy, me, I'm going to do the Brits on him. I was like, it was just too crazy. So sometimes when you have that, you have this idea and you think this is going to make a point, but it's so ridiculous. So it's just out of control, And at that point, I'm thinking, but here I am, this serious Christian, and I believe in all this stuff. And some people are like, Ed, you joke too much. I'm like, oh my gosh, you want me to be that boring pastor kind of person? I'm just not that person. Go to another church. Because, I mean, I wasn't doing it to try to disgrace Jesus. I wasn't trying to do it to disgrace the people who are helping. I really I like to act stuff out. I think it's really funny.
So your purpose, or the purpose, was not to, make things bad, but actually to make a point, and it turned out really fun.
Yeah, it just turned out really weird. I mean, and that happens because I think if you're kind of a funny, joking kind of person, it just comes out. It just happens. You're not even trying to be funny, but stuff just happens.
Sometimes I just wake up and I feel like today I want to be serious. It takes me 5 minutes.
Yeah.
And I crack a joke, or I just laugh, or I can't.
Oh my God.
I can't control it. It's just, I mean, it's a blessing because, I don't think I can be depressed for real, because somehow I have this personality that's just
I know.
my brain's like
Exactly. I'm just like, oh my God, she's driving me crazy. Stop being so happy. No, but after summer break in 2020, I decided that I was going to change the way I was at work. I'm like, everyone's always complaining because I'm always making jokes and walk around happy and I sing all the time. I'm going to be really serious. I'm going to be one of those people. I'm going to be so strict by the rules. And I really try. So I come to work. I'm like, I'm not going to smile. I'm not going to say hi. I'm not going to say hi. I'm not going to smile. I'm not going to ask people how they're doing. I'm just going to go to my office. So I walk in. I was like, what's wrong with you? I'm trying to be serious. Why? I'm like, because you guys always complain. Who complains? I'm like, all of you. No one complains. I'm like, leave me alone. So I go in my room and I sit down. We're eating lunch. I'm like, okay. And I really tried. And then after at first I was drained. After 2 hours.
It takes so much energy.
I'm like, how do people do that? How do they not have a sense of humor? I'm like, I would be dead if I did a whole day. I'd have nothing left. My heart would stop. It's like, I'm leaving you. And it was really hard. And I really try. I try all the time. And everyone's always looking at me because I just say weird stuff. And I was like,
The most funny thing is if you say something and you find it really funny and no one else
is laughing. Yeah. I'm like, because when Jesus was born. Okay, so this is another Jesus thing. I think I joke a lot about Jesus. And I had this confirmation group. We're talking about the birth of Jesus. I'm like, could you imagine, so I come into the room, got this blue robe on me like I was Mary. I got a pillow, and I was like, oh, Jesus, I gotta just get him out of this baby's driving me crazy. Joseph, come here and help me. There's nobody here. I'm in the manger. Grab my legs and put them up. And I laid on the floor and get my legs up.
Wow.
They're all like, what is he doing? And so I move around so I could hide the pillow because I had a baby doll underneath the pillow.
Wow, you were all in. You were all in.
I was all in. I was like, pull out the baby Jesus. And everyone was like, I'll never forget this. Now I know how it happened. He was pooping all over the place. Her breast was all sore. And it was like, you said that about the Virgin Mary. I'm like, I'm sure her breasts were sore.
Yeah, they engorge after the baby comes.
Swollen up, and Jesus was like, she's like, my Jesus can eat, and so, and it's not because I don't think that Jesus is special, but I'm like, if he's 100% human, 100% God, let's bring in some more of the humanity and find some balance. It's not like Jesus came out and this big shining light came out of his head. He's just like, and Mary's like,
but
I felt no pain.
All the pictures, though.
I know, that's because they're liars. So it's things like that, like just taking everyday life, or when I'm talking about things, I always tend to talk about things in parables. I always have this crazy example about something, which of course becomes an occasion for me to act out. I don't know. I like improv. I like, you could put me on the stage anywhere and just say, do this, and I would just do it.
Well, that's why I'm saying stand up, man.
Yeah. So that would be kind of fun.
I think I don't think it would do well on stand up.
I think you would.
No, because I don't know, if people wouldn't be laughing, we would just be sitting and talking. I'm like, oh.
We'll make them laugh.
At you. Would make me feel better.
Yeah. Okay. They're laughing at Ed. Ha ha ha. He's such a clown. Ha ha ha.
Because people in the audience speak like that.
Yeah,
Everyone.
Yeah. Men, women, children, Dead people, live people, everyone speaks like that. They're all like,
oh my gosh, I hope Culture Night will be physical this year. It would be so fun. We have to record Culture Night.
Again?
Yeah.
Yes.
This year.
Well, I think that we should have like a different guest like every half an hour.
Yeah, we should invite people. It's gonna
Just
be
like normal, like anyone. Like
they kick them out.
Find
Bye.
someone,
Next one.
Someone who's like homeless, or like, just come and be on our podcast. I don't even know you. Just come. We need people. And he's like showing up.
Too desperate though.
I'm always desperate.
We have people calling in. It's more fun.
Yeah, it would be kind of fun.
Like Lani.
Yeah, I know. Like Lani. But anyway, I think that like has there ever been any time where humor didn't work for you?
In what way didn't work? Like
they slapped your face.
I don't know. I think I've become a more humorous person since I moved to Sweden. I think it came with my confidence, or the other way around. I don't know which came first, the egg or the hen.
Well,
so I don't know. I don't think I was that fun in school. I think I was more serious in school, I guess, because of all the pressure and not feeling mentally well. But then coming to Sweden, where it's like, no one cares. Do whatever you want.
Yeah.
If you fail, you fail. If you pass, then you pass. So it took a lot of pressure from me, and I think that's where I could evolve my humor, and it helped me to be quick-witted, and it gave me a lot of confidence that I can think fast. And I was at the 10th grade graduation at my brother's party in school with his classmates, where you're supposed to not make a fool of yourself, so your poor brother has to be ashamed. But he said, I mean, I don't know, when I have this situation where when I have to be the icebreaker and there's a lot of, I feel like, pressure on me, I can go overboard. Like I was talking about the people like, so what you're going to do after school, blah blah, and one person was like, I'm going to study this and this, and then that. I'm like, so are you supposed to get a job? And then one guy said, yeah, I'm going to the army, and I'm like, so are you going there for the work or for the guys? And everyone's like, and I'm like, and they were like dying, and my brother says they're still talking about it, like they're saying that your sister, she's so nuclear, like whoa. And I don't know if I should take it as a compliment or more like, they're scared. But
my mom told me so all the stuff that's happening in the States. And she's like, I'm like, Mom, sometimes I'm just really happy I live in Sweden. She goes, me too, because you joke about everything. And you don't know where the limit's at. She goes, if people would shoot you here. I'm like, really? You think they shoot me? What if I'm impervious to bullets? I should go try it out. She's like, Edward, you can't keep saying stuff like that. I'm like, sure I can. I can joke about anything, Mom. I don't, everything can be funny,
People here in Sweden who have guns only shoot at gang members or animals.
Well, no, shoot at me. No. Look at that, kill him.
So what is your advice for people who have difficulties expressing humor?
Well, find a funny friend to hang out with. No, because I think it's something that you can't, like, I think you can, nah, you can't. I'm like, well, I mean, it's like people who are really have a lot of energy in the morning. They have a lot of energy in the morning. They can't change and have a lot of energy at night. They could change their day around, but they're still going to be more like, it's just a natural rhythm that they have. And I think that, thank God that not everybody tries to be funny, because then it would be irritating. There's people who aren't funny because of some reason God made them not funny, because God thinks that there should be people who are not funny in the world, because I don't know why. But when I see those people, I'm like, oh my, I should lay hands on you and heal you of your non-funniness so you can have a life, be fun to hang around with. No. And then there's people who are funny. And I think that balance, so I think that in the whole idea of diversity is that those differences can complement each other. So sometimes they're like famous comedians, and you'd have one who is kind of weird or funny, and you have the other one's like the straight comedian, and that person never told jokes, but somehow that would work together because they could complement each other, and it was really funny as a team.
So
So
between us, who's the one that's not funny?
me. Thanks, Lynn. Now I'm never going to talk to you again. I think for you and I think the thing is that we're both really weird, and then
So it becomes funny.
yeah. So I think that we just multiply each other. We're exponential.
We are synergism.
Yeah, I know.
1 + 1 is 3.
Ooh, synergy. Yeah, I think that you and I have like a similar kind of personality.
That's horrible.
So I know.
I don't want to be like you.
Oh, yes, you do. You dream. You go in the mirror. It's like, if Anna could be like Ed, I'm gonna grow a beard.
You. I'm going to get really tan.
Exactly. She's been laying on the sun for 5 years, and what happened? You still haven't caught up yet. What's wrong with you?
I'm just getting more yellow.
I know. We'll fix you. I'm gonna poop soon. Okay.
Oh my gosh. Okay. Thank you guys for listening to our funny humor episode. I hope you guys keep listening to us, laughing with us. I've heard that one of our listeners said that she's listening to our podcast when she's feeling down. So apparently you guys are our target group.
Or
sad people.
Or exactly. People who really don't know what humor is. Like, I'm listening to them because they make me laugh because I don't know what funny is.
So if you're sad, if you have a sad friend or someone,
yes, let them listen to us.
Yes, send them this podcast.
Yes.
Let them be cheered up. Don't choose the topics about like death because they're more serious.
That was me. Well, no, I think I told a joke there too. I don't know.
Yeah, but only one.
Okay, good. Keep writing to us, as Lynn said. We love it when you write to us. We love to get feedback. We're still looking at trying to get over 35,000 this year.
We get more and more listeners.
I know.
Every day.
It's like people like checking this out, and they're like, "Ooh, wow, this is where everything is happening." So tell your friends, tell your family, bribe people if you have to, pay them off, whatever. We want to be more. We want the community to grow.
Grow.
Yes. So thank you for listening to us. Have a great day, a great evening, or whatever part of the world you're in.
Woo.
Bye.
Bye. Thank you for listening. If you have any comments or ideas, please send us a message to fikaforlife@mail.com. Fika, F-I-K-A. This was the Fika for Life podcast with Linh and Edward Thomas, and we hope to hear you again.